Hello, you guys. Thought I would jump on and do a reading using the Pulp Tarot. Let's see how it goes. Hope everyone's having a great day, or making it a great day. Let's get into the reading. Look how beautiful. Pretty, right? Love to see which direction the incense smoke heads. Five of Swords. Preparing yourself for battle. Mental preparation. Got that red sun behind the mountain. Maybe the danger is behind us. We have fought. We're a little bit in disarray, but we fought. And here we are in a place of the Hanged Man, in a place of suspension with no decision to make. With 2 cups upside down. I'd say that's a no for me. Oh, that's a number 12, is the Hanged Man, which is a 3. So sometimes when we're in this place of suspension, it can be spiritually directed in order for you to kind of recenter yourself. At the bottom, it looks like that's a TA on that person's jacket. It could involve someone with those initials, if I'm seeing that correctly. At first, I thought it was a, oh, all of them have TA. That's probably the Todd Alcott, yes. Those are his initials. Initially, I thought it was an AI, but an IA, so I was going to reference that, but... And then, oh, that's too many. That fell on the floor. It was like a whole group. So if you're in a place of having to make a decision on something, and granted, you want to use your own discernment on all decisions and things that you are dealing with, but there's no decision to make at this point. Either the answer is no, or there's just no decision. You don't have to make a choice right now. You can just let it go. Usually it will just show up on its own, right? It's nothing you gotta do. Oh, look at that, folks. Wasn't that something? We had the 6 of Swords under the 5. Well, this is a bummer on how much you can see on the table. Well, it is what it is, right? So we've got the 6 of Swords that was hiding behind the 5 of Swords. Perhaps this 5 of Swords is protecting the 6 of Swords, so perhaps they can get whoever this is in the boat out of harm's way, because they're not able to make any decisions on anything, and because they can't make any decisions for themselves or on the situation, it's heading down this road to an ending. Or perhaps because this this 5 of Swords person who's been fighting this fight was hiding or protecting this person in the boat so they can get away, perhaps the whole situation that's causing this fight and causing this person to be stagnant is coming to an end. Bottom of the deck is the Devil. My goodness, I was told just look at the bottom of the deck right now. And then we've got the Devil. The enslaved woman and the enslaved man. So two people who were obviously under some kind of influence of something or some situation is no longer under that influence because it's ended. The Devil card has no hold over these people. It's the end of that situation. Perhaps they're two people who were meant to be together. Maybe they are twin flames or soul partners. And perhaps now they'll be able to consider or reconsider their relationship, because perhaps they were fighting or arguing in the past and they had no idea why. They really wanted to be together, but because they were arguing or because there was something weird between them, they couldn't get together. And now that is all being illuminated and burned out because of the ending card. Notice that the 12, and then we've got the death of 13. And I have no idea why it just came out. I don't know. It came out that way, so I just placed it that way. The Hanged Man over the Two of Cups and the fight. Maybe stop fighting. Consider your options before you're not able to consider the options. Now this can be in work, meaning that there is a decision that was not being able to be made within a work situation or a relationship situation. There was a decision that you didn't get to make between that because someone else was controlling that. Perhaps, and again, hiding you, hiding the truth, hiding what is. But there is an end to that right now. End of bottom of the deck, the Empress. And the Emperor was stuck to her. When I just tried to put it down, I felt it, and then the Emperor came out from behind her. So that is a pairing that does confirm the fact that it is two people in a place of their best selves, and they were ready to come together. Through all of the fighting and all of the time having to suspend and go within and not be able to make these choices and work on themselves, they came to this place where they were able to rise above the things that were going on. Okay, well, I'm going to end it with that deck. And I'm going to pick up the Insta Tarot. Let's see how this is going out on social media. Bottom of this deck is the Devil also. Who says the devil can't have a soft spot for kids, but when I try to share my candy, they all run away like I'm going to drag them to hell. Not so evil. Hashtag sweet but spooky. So sometimes the devil does things to our benefit. It seems like it's something that is just so scary, but sometimes it works in our favor, right? Because, I mean, if he were to give the candy to the kids, what if they're not allowed to have candy? What if they wanted the candy, but they didn't take it because it was just a scary situation? And if they would have just kind of sat there and kind of assessed the situation longer, they would have realized that the candy was a good idea and the devil was just not as scary as it intended. Sometimes the way we come across is not the way that we are. Sometimes people can misunderstand who we are based on their own perceptions of what it is that they're dealing with. Or what they were told about the situation. Someone's just trying to give, and because they're just trying to give, people are suspect by that because of what they might have understood or heard. Okay, we had this big old group come out, and I'm not going to take that because it's too much. Ten of Pentacles, family is everything, and I'm so grateful for every moment I get to spend with mine. Perhaps it's a family member that was told something and then they kind of ran with it, not knowing. or just assuming because of whomever it was that told them that. They believed their authority or their stance before they took time to even look at what was actually being offered. As I said, sometimes things can look one way and it's not that way, and you're just overreacting to something that was actually supposed to be a gift. Again, I'm being led to remind you, you've got to be use discernment and be mindful in all of your choices and decisions, because those are the ones that are going to stick. What came out was death again. Even death can't resist a good deal. Save 70% on everything in store. Hashtag death and shopping. Hashtag savvy shopper. Hashtag discount queen. It's possible that somebody's shopping habits is what is causing their issues, or someone is spending way too much money thinking that it's a good deal. Perhaps someone invested in something that they thought was a good deal and it was not, and they should have run away. But let's go back to the fact that there was no decisions that could have been made. Perhaps they're being sold something that looks like it's a good deal, and they came into this agreement and they decided that they were going to go with it, and now it's not a good deal. And I just found this on the floor, the star card from another deck. It's actually a sticker. So with that being said, it could be an Aquarius. It could be a dream that was sold to you that was not what it seemed. Or maybe it was a dream that you were afraid of. You were afraid of the dream. You kept running away the other directions from this dream because maybe you thought you couldn't do it. Maybe you thought there was some kind of imposter syndrome there, so you were going to try to end something because it just seemed like it was a pipe dream. Perhaps everything that you were trying to do in order to achieve your dreams were being hidden. You were being hidden. You weren't given the choice. But remember, that person came in to fight. That person came in and covered us so that we could sail away. Even though we didn't have the choices, or we couldn't make the choices we wanted to make based on the fact that we were kind of trying to save ourselves. And there was an ending there, and I'm sorry I keep repeating it, but considering we've got the devil and death out twice, the devil can also represent an earth sign. Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. So maybe there's someone involved in the situation and their involvement in it is no longer. Alright, and that's the end of that deck as well. So I'm going to go ahead and say, considering, we're going to stop using the tarot and see what wisdom that we have behind this. Using the wisdom of the hidden realms. Death. Sorry about the loud. I should have forewarned. All right. Let's see what the wisdom is. Bless you, bless you. On that note, I was told that if someone says bless you to you, you're not supposed to say thank you because it kind of defeats the purpose of them telling you bless you. The Chess Queen, the Arrow Master. The Chess Queen is trust and strategizing, and the Arrow Master is hitting the mark, intention and detachment. So the wisdom in this situation is, if you're finding yourself in one where it is that someone seems like they've got to protect you in order for you to be able to move on, and you don't have a choice in the matter of anything, you don't even get to visit or see or talk to whomever it is that you want to, because there's someone behind the scenes that's trying to control everything, including your dreams. The chess queen says you've got to trust in the process. You can strategize your next move with a 30 there. That would be something like the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Perhaps check in with them. Maybe the Trinity is strategizing what's going to happen next for you. But you've got to trust the process. You're playing chess here, right? It's not a game for people who just want to jump on the board and start playing. There's rules there. There's I want to say tactics, but there's strategy there, like the card says, and there's a thought out process. You just, as I said, you can't just jump on and play like you can checkers, like with a quick instruction. Like only each piece can only do certain things, and they have to abide by that, or you lose the game. The Arrow Master hitting the mark, intention, into attachment. So perhaps that's a confirmation of what I'm saying here is what's actually going on as confirmation. Our intention is everything. But of course, they do say that the path of good intentions is a pathway to not so great place. So perhaps following through on your intentions, being in a place of detachment, perhaps just doing each step by step by step, and not really putting too much into the outcome of it. Maybe be detached from all the things that are going on around. Be detached from any kind of emotions that may come up. Be detached when you're in the face of the devil, because the devil card there for the Insta Tarot said, I'm trying to give you candy, but you're running away from me. And I'm trying to give you something, but you're running away. Maybe be detached enough and long enough in order to see what the facts of the matter are versus the emotion of the matter. A lot of times our responses, keyword responses, will change depending on what the facts are in the matter. But if you are not in a place of detachment, you will be stuck in that situation on the basis of emotion, and you'll have more of a tendency to just react to something. And because you're trusting and strategizing, you want to make sure that your actions are in alignment to what your intentions are. So with that, you'll want to be detached enough from your emotions in order to see what the facts are, because emotions can cloud the facts. It's just psychology. It is what it is. Based on that, because I just said that, I feel it's important to mention I am not a psychic. I don't have spirits telling me what to say. I don't hear them. I don't see them. I'm not psychic, so I don't see the future. I'm not a medium, which would be where the spirits are, I guess. I'm looking at the cards, I'm reading the words, I'm looking at the pictures, and I am saying what it is that I see and putting the storyline together. With that being said, I'm going to move on to some other cards that I had made, because these cards were not really wanting to shuffle either. It seemed really hard to even get those. So I'm going to use my word cards, just singular words on there. Binge, top of the deck. I don't want to look at the other ones because then I'll be tempted to take it. Seriously though, box. So you're being put in a box. Someone is being put in a box. Maybe you have thinking within a box and you're not thinking outside of the box. Maybe you're binging on a $5 box. Del Taco has a $5 box. I'm not affiliated with the company, but that's what comes to mind when I see the word box. Step out of the box. Out of the box thinking, strategizing, right? That could have something to do with your money there. If one thing's not working, then think outside of the box and try another way. Growth is upside down. Money growth. If your money's not growing, you'll have to think outside of the box. Maybe spend some time considering what it is that you can do to make your money grow. Someone with the initial Z. There's some information that you haven't gotten. Perhaps Z doesn't have any information for whomever it is who is looking outside of the box. Maybe Z stands for sleeping. Maybe you're not getting any information in your sleep when you're sleeping. Maybe you're not having dreams like you used to have. Maybe it's limited information versus no information at all, considering the card is a little bit tipped. And this information can have to do with money matters and strategy. Perhaps this information is unknown, or there's information missing from the strategy. Someone with the initial Y is in their mind. Why are you all in your mind? Maybe someone's asking this person, hey, why are you all up in your mind these days? Why are you so much into your thoughts? Maybe don't ask why. Again, with the detachment. Maybe there's someone out there, the person who is protecting this other. Maybe they're hitting the mark. Maybe they're seeing something now that they didn't see before because they got a little bit more information on something they didn't have any information on. Maybe they're having a better understanding of the mind of the individuals they are looking at. Maybe someone is out of their mind considering that box. The person protecting the lady is realizing these other people outside of this little box are really out of their mind. And they don't understand why. Why are these people acting this way? Why are these people treating this person that way? Why are they not allowing her to have any, or he, to be able to make a living? Why are they doing this to this person? Why are they trying to stagnate this person? Why are they even needing to be hidden in the first place? Why? Sometimes you've got to ask. But on the other hand, you've got to slow down. Slow down the mind. Don't overthink. Just be. Again, with the stagnant, just be. Don't try to over-strategize. Stay detached. And just be. Look the devil in the face and ask, what are you trying to do right now? I'm not saying to confront anybody, folks, because as we said, we had that detachment. But you can kind of do your own little session with yourself and asking why. What is the purpose? And that's the purpose, because that devil is the karmic. And they're here in order to make things a little bit more difficult so that you can come to this place of detachment and not being affected by everything that's going on outside the box, in order for you to be able to finally find your peace in all things, regardless. Wherever that peace may come from, it's up to you. A lot of times we've got to tell ourselves things in order to make sure that we can stay in a place of peace. Whether it's hope or faith or just common knowledge on the way that the scales balance in everything, that could give you the peace of mind. But slow down. Remember to breathe. And because that piece is written in blue, I'm also going to say, remember to stay hydrated. Keep your cool in all things. And just be. Because just as all the readings that I think that you see on YouTube, or the ones that I've seen on YouTube, it just seems like it's the same stuff that was going on from like 2 years ago. And that's why I stopped doing it for so long, because it was like the same story, and I was so done with the same story that I just wanted to live in the moment without having to know anything else but what I saw and experienced in that moment. With that being said, make it a great day, because every moment is a new opportunity for things to be exactly how you want them. Make it a great day. Take care. And thanks for being here.